In Search of Lost Time, also known as Remembrance of Things Past, is a monumental 7-volume work by French author Marcel Proust. Published between 1913 and 1927, the novel is one of the most significant literary works of the 20th century, known for its exploration of memory, time, and the inner workings of consciousness. Spanning over 4,000 pages, In Search of Lost Time is not merely a narrative, but a deep, philosophical investigation into the nature of human experience. The story begins with the narrator's attempt to recall his past, a journey that intertwines his experiences with those of his family, friends, lovers, and a richly depicted French society. The protagonist, who is often assumed to be a thinly veiled version of Proust himself, reflects on his memories, frequently triggered by sensory experiences such as the taste of a madeleine dipped in tea, a moment that famously initiates his journey of self-exploration. The novel is divided into 7 volumes. Swan's Way, In the Shadow of Young Girls and Flower, The Germanes Way, Sodom and Gomorrah, The Prisoner, The Fugitive, Time Regained. Each of these volumes deals with different aspects of the narrator's life, his observations, and his evolving sense of time, memory, and identity. The key thematic concern throughout the novel is the passage of time and the narrator's ongoing attempt to recover lost moments of the past, often exploring how time and memory distort and shape one's reality. Volume 1, Swan's Way. The opening volume of In Search of Lost Time is both an introduction to the narrator's quest for understanding and a deep dive into the complexities of memory. The novel opens with the narrator recalling his childhood memories of visiting his family's home in Cambrai, a small town in France. His early reflections focus on the difficulties of recalling the past and the way memory shifts over time. Central to this volume is the famous scene where the narrator dips a madeleine into tea, and the taste of the cake brings back a flood of memories of his mother and his childhood home. This moment illustrates one of Proust's most celebrated ideas, the involuntary nature of memory, which arises not through conscious effort, but from a chance encounter with a sensory experience. The central narrative of Swan's Way shifts focus to Charles Swann, a wealthy but sensitive man and a family friend of the narrator's. Swann's life is explored in detail, particularly his obsessive, unrequited love for Odette de Crécy, a woman of modest means. The exploration of Swann's affair with Odette presents themes of love, obsession, and the interplay between illusion and reality. Swann's infatuation with Odette is marked by his increasing belief that she is the epitome of beauty, but the reality of their relationship is fraught with tension and misunderstandings. Swann's obsessive love mirrors the narrator's own experiences with love and memory. Both Swann and the narrator seek to understand the feelings that overwhelm them, but they ultimately find themselves lost in the webs of their own illusions. The idea that love is often about constructing an image of the beloved, rather than seeing them as they truly are, is explored in depth. This leads to an overarching theme of In Search of Lost Time: the conflict between appearance and reality, the impossibility of fully understanding another person, and the inevitable distortion of time and memory. Volume 2, In the Shadow of Young Girls and Flower. In the second volume, the narrator turns to his own experiences with love and adolescence, focusing particularly on his infatuation with Gilberte Swann, the daughter of Charles Swann and Odette. In this volume, the narrator reflects on his adolescence, and the narrative is filled with long, evocative descriptions of the world around him, particularly the young girls of his social circle. The volume focuses on the narrator's growing awareness of his own desires and the complex dynamics between different characters. One of the most significant parts of In the Shadow of Young Girls and Flower is the narrator's first experiences of romantic attraction. His obsession with Gilbert becomes an exercise in longing and self-deception. The themes of love, idealization, and the construction of memory are developed further, with the narrator reflecting on his own infatuation and his difficulty in understanding the true nature of love. As he becomes more aware of his feelings, he is also haunted by the fear that his memories of Gilbert and the past may be distorted or falsely idealized. The narrator's relationship with his mother also deepens in this volume. His desire for her approval and love is marked by the realization that he can never fully understand or capture her essence. The central tension in this volume is the narrator's gradual transition from childhood to adolescence, where the experiences of love and loss begin to shape his view of the world. This volume solidifies the theme of the difficulty of reliving or reclaiming lost moments from the past. Volume 3, The Guermantes Way. In The Guermantes Way, the narrator transitions from the intimacy of childhood and adolescence to the broader, more complex world of adult society. The volume focuses on the narrator's entrance into high society, particularly the aristocratic Guermantes family. This social setting introduces a new world of privilege, vanity, and class distinctions that play a crucial role in the narrator's journey toward understanding himself and the world around him. The narrator's observations of the Guermantes family are marked by a sense of awe and disdain. He describes their wealth and grandeur, but also critiques their superficiality and pretensions. Through his interactions with the Guermantes, Proust explores the theme of social mobility, the longing for recognition, and the disillusionment that often follows when one attains their desires. The narrator's fascination with the Guermantes, especially the enigmatic Duchess, reflects his ongoing internal struggle between longing and understanding, idealization and reality. This volume also continues the exploration of time and memory, with the narrator reflecting on the passage of time, his observations of others, and his ongoing disillusionment with the world he inhabits. The characters in The Guermantes Way are often caught between the past and the present, unable to fully reconcile their desires with their current realities. Volume 4, Sodom and Gomorrah. In Sodom and Gomorrah, the narrator's reflections take a darker turn, focusing on themes of sexuality, desire, and societal repression. The volume explores the narrator's complex relationships with various characters, including his ambiguous feelings towards men and women. The concept of the secret life becomes central as the narrator begins to realize the hidden desires and behaviors of those around him, particularly concerning homosexuality and sexual identity. This volume is notable for its exploration of social taboos, as Proust delves into the dynamics of forbidden love and sexual attraction. The volume is also concerned with the idea of duality, the contrast between outward appearances and the hidden, often repressed desires of individuals. Proust's exploration of these themes is both intellectual and intimate, as the narrator grapples with the complexity of human relationships, sexuality, and the limitations of memory. The title Sodom and Gomorrah refers to the biblical cities of sin, and the narrative takes a more overtly philosophical approach to examining morality, temptation, and the contradictions within individuals and society. The volume continues the exploration of time and memory, as the narrator revisits past moments of sexual and romantic longing, offering a more critical lens through which he can view his past experiences. Volume 5, The Prisoner. The Prisoner focuses on the narrator's relationship with his lover, Albertine, who becomes an increasingly important figure in his life. The narrator's obsession with Albertine's perceived infidelities, as well as his efforts to control her behavior, reflect his internalized anxieties about love, loss, and possession. Throughout this volume, the narrator struggles with his feelings of jealousy, fear, and possessiveness, revealing the darker side of his desires. The concept of captivity, both physical and emotional, plays a significant role in The Prisoner. The narrator's obsession with Albertine mirrors his larger struggle with the constraints of time and memory. His inability to fully possess Albertine or understand her emotions leads him to question the nature of love and desire. The volume explores the psychological complexities of relationships, focusing on how the narrator's inability to reconcile his desires with his reality leaves him emotionally imprisoned. Volume 6, The Fugitive. In The Fugitive, the narrator continues to grapple with the loss of Albertine, who has left him, and the profound emotional impact her departure has on him. The volume delves into the themes of abandonment, loneliness, and the relentless passage of time. The narrator's reflection on his past relationships, particularly with Albertine, highlights his ongoing search for meaning and understanding in a world marked by loss and change. The Fugitive explores the narrator's desire to reclaim lost moments, but also acknowledges the futility of this endeavor. The title refers to Albertine's flight from the narrator's life, but it also symbolizes the fugitive nature of time itself, the impossibility of holding onto the past. The volume touches on themes of memory and self-deception, as the narrator continues to reflect on the past with both longing and regret. Volume 7, Time Regained. Time Regained is the final volume of In Search of Lost Time, and it brings the themes of time, memory, and identity to their fullest expression. The narrator, now reflecting on the passage of time, realizes that the pursuit of lost moments is futile, but that the process of remembering and reflecting is an essential part of understanding oneself. In the final chapters, the narrator decides to write down his memories, marking the conclusion of his quest for lost time. The novel ends with a triumphant return to the idea of art and creation. The narrator's understanding of time, memory, and identity has evolved, and he accepts that while the past can never be fully reclaimed, it can still shape the present. The closing moments of Time Regained are deeply reflective and optimistic, offering a sense of closure for the narrator's journey and a recognition of the importance of memory, creation, and self-understanding. Conclusion. In Search of Lost Time is a complex, multifaceted exploration of time, memory, love, and the human condition. Through the narrator's journey, Proust weaves a rich tapestry of philosophical reflection, emotional complexity, and intellectual exploration. The novel's use of memory as both a narrative device and a thematic concern allows for a deep dive into the nuances of human experience. The novel is a meditation on the passage of time, the nature of identity, and the interplay between perception and reality. Proust's work is not only a reflection on the past, but a profound investigation into the act of remembering and how our memories shape our understanding of who we are. It is a novel that demands engagement from its readers, encouraging them to reflect on their own relationships with memory, identity, and time. In Search of Lost Time remains one of the most important literary works of the modern era, offering an enduring meditation on the nature of human experience.